names and thinks that they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie. Talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
Hello, ladies and gentle dudes. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, it's a special edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. The group stages are done for IEM Katowice 2021.
Yeah, the de facto world championships for last year.
Did
Not,
did they did they
no.
say a world championship today?
They referred to Rogue as the defending champion. Now I don't know if that's because Rogue won IEM last year, or if Cat simply got who won BlizzCon last year wrong.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I get Rogue and Dark a little bit confused too.
How?
I'm racist against Korean people.
Okay, someone clip that, please, for when you run for governor. Also,
I mean,
Rogue's
it's not-
Rogue's the guy doing Night of Swarm hosts, and Dark's the guy who's working out and drinking. Right? We covered this.
Right. His strategy is to work out and drink and play StarCraft.
Indeed.
Yeah, I like it. So you know what's interesting? I just realized. So in Wikipedia, you know how on the right side you can go back to the previous tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So it links to both the 2019 WCS Global Finals and Katowice 2020.
Yes, Yep. Rogue did win Katowice last year, so Katz was right. Yeah.
But but it is. It's the World Championship. I don't know.
Is it though?
It's all the best players in the world.
Well, I mean, let's face it. You can say that about most tournaments, right? You once you get to the round of 8 for most tournaments, it is 90. It's 50% of all the best players, right?
Yeah.
For just about any tournament, but this one's the one that's supposed to mean something.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we need one of them to mean something. So it's this one.
It's this one.
Anyway, yeah. So my dream of having 4 foreigners in the quarterfinals is officially dead. I'm kind of sad about that.
But you have 4 foreigners in the playoffs. Just just change it a little.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They've messed with this format over the years. Sometimes we've had a round of 16 instead of a group stage. Most of the time we've had a group stage into a round of 8. This is the only time I've seen that we have a round of 12 before the round of 8.
Yeah.
I don't know if I recognized us doing that at a BlizzCon in the last 10 years or so, right? Did you see one?
They've not done it in the last 4 years. Okay. So 2016 they had the round of 16, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first one that I didn't watch. Well, I wasn't here for. So the one after that was the first one I did watch. And it's basically been the same ever since. Groups into a round of 8.
Yeah, into a round of 8. That's been the cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not sure what made them say this year we need to have a round of 12.
I don't know.
And give the top seeds from each of the groups basically a bye.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. It's weird, yeah. Anyway, Cyril plays Clem in the round of 12, and
Yep.
And so only one of them can advance, but I think it's the foreigner's own fault for not placing first in their groups. So
Yep.
Yeah, I figured either Cyril or Rainer would, but it's TY, Dark, Zest, and Rogue that came first in their different groups. So
Man,
Korean dominance.
Poor Neeb, the only foreigner in Group D. Group D also the only group to not have a foreigner get out of it. Oof.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not shocked.
Yeah, 1 in 4.
Yeah. We're not shocked. I mean, if Neeb does something amazing, I'll take it. But I'm not like, man, Neeb's going to make it to the finals this year. No. Nope. Sorry. Sorry, bud. Straya didn't make it out. Sorry, Max Angel.
Came close.
He took a game off Zest. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Took a game off Trap as well. I mean, not that was hard, because everybody was beating Trap up.
Yeah, I mean, we cursed him. That's like
Oh,
That's how Caster Curse is like aligning. Normally, it's like I will curse Maru to the end of time.
yeah,
But
yeah,
no,
yeah.
Maru is fine. Trap, who we call the greatest Protoss on planet Earth at the moment, uh, basically died to
1 in 4.
everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to everyone. Who did he beat? Let's see. Trap. He beat Dream when it didn't matter. I think he'd already been eliminated, but he
Yeah.
2-1 Dream after it was a foregone conclusion he wasn't getting out. So,
Well, I mean, he obviously turned it up because he realized he couldn't go any further. But
uh-huh.
every best of 3 in the groups that you win, you got an extra $100.
Okay, so he was fighting for $100. That's fine. Very, very
$100
cool.
eaters. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so we screwed him over. Let's see. I believe. Okay, so basically, Cure took Parting took Cure's spot in Group D.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Parting's a former world champ. He's very capable of doing stuff like this.
He was the world champ in 2012, right?
He
Like,
was. I don't care. I don't care. Best
I,
player in the world at StarCraft at some point counts.
I mean, no.
No, it doesn't.
Because here's the thing: at one point, the StarCraft 2 wasn't released, and the best person was a guy working at Blizzard, right? Like, could you imagine if he turned up and was like, "Yeah, but I was the best at one point. You said that counts."
Did we have a world championship in the beta?
No, but they had office tournaments. I bet that
Yeah.
counts, right? Like at
Okay,
that,
fine. After the game has officially been released, you pedant.
right?
Jeez. You're like, when the game was in development, there was someone that was the best in the world.
Well, no. Well, we're playing Legacy of the Void. 2012 is not Legacy of the Void. It doesn't count. Sorry, Parting.
That's fair.
Rules lawyer.
Look, I'm just saying. Okay, do I need to go back to 2012 now? I probably do.
Look, we went through this, and 2012 was like a really weird time for the StarCraft 2 tournaments, right? For BlizzCon, it was super weird. It was like 2 players from each region, like 2 players from Korea, 2 players from Europe, and there was no one in Europe who could stop parting. Like, nobody. Didn't we go through this at one point?
It's not his fault.
You're right. It's not his fault that there were literally no players to challenge him, and that's why I don't consider a legitimate world champ.
Again, we didn't have anybody from Europe being legitimate world champ until the region lock. So, yeah, I mean, that accounts for a whole bunch of these.
More or less.
Hang on. He beat Scarlet. He beat Suppy from America. He beat Sen from Taiwan. Then he 4-2'd Creator.
Yeah. Did you, like, okay.
So, I mean, it's not a murderer's row.
Right. Look, and also, I would like to go on record and say the games today being played are significantly more skilled.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than 2012.
No, for sure. But look, Wilt Chamberlain in the NBA played in the 1960s when there were 8 teams in the NBA. And he was kicking everyone's butt because he was by far the most talented player in the league, just because there weren't that many great players and the games weren't as good and the level of competition wasn't as good. But you know what? The championships he won, I count him. He was the greatest player in the world at one point.
Did Blizz know of him? Like, how'd he get removed?
He retired. I mean, he was amazing for a very long time, but it was a long time ago, and the state of the league was different. I get that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Look, I'm not saying he's not a world champion. I don't consider it to be a recognition of his current skill level. Like, it's 9 years later. The game is very different.
All right. That's fair. It's different. I'm with you. Very different. Again, he does have to contend with Europe now.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he had to contend with North America, but that's not really the case.
Didn't Neeb beat him? Or did he beat Neeb? No, Neeb beat Cure. Sorry.
Ah, okay.
Never mind.
Did they not play each other?
No, they did. They did.
Yeah, Parting 2 owed him. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Several.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
One of the more interesting games, I thought, Rogue and Parting, were 1-1 going to game 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rogue went for this stupid drone drill play. It's like, what is wrong with you? I guess maybe he knew he was already getting through. He didn't care. But like, honestly, what is that garbage? Get that out of here.
That's a fantastic play when it works. It's fun to watch. It's happened in GSL to much success. Like it won
Has
games.
it worked since the Void Ray buff? Because guess what? Parting opened with a Void Ray and all those lings died.
Yeah, I mean, he
like, I don't think you can. I think it's a build order loss. If it's Void Ray first versus the drone drill, I think you're just done.
No, I don't think so. Because if the Void Ray is not hard, right? Like if you keep the Void Ray, if the Void Ray is home, and I would also like to point out the Adept was still home. Normally that gets sent across for scouting. If the Void Ray goes Overlord hunting, it wins because you have to recall one of those, and you're going to recall the Void Ray, but I don't think it matters at that point once the Lings are in. I mean, you could still come back in like a scrappy ass game, but it would be scrappy and you would be behind.
I guess. I mean, I've always figured, isn't that a win-or-lose proposition for the Zerg? Either they win with it now or they're done. Because how many drones did they bring with them on this thing? It's like 10.
I did not see because I was only listening to the game while I was at work.
Yeah. It's every time I've seen it, it really feels like if the Zerg doesn't win now, they're toast. Even if they kill, 12 probes, doesn't matter. They're done.
Maybe.
I'm just saying. I just think that's a very win now or go home build.
Yeah. Did you see Ragnarok's early tap out? So Ragnarok did a thing. I don't even remember who was versing because it wasn't shown on the main stream which I was listening to. It was on the B stream or C stream. And so when they were out of games, they would check in on, like, Zombie Grub was watching the other ones. She would give highlights. And it was like, who was it? It was like Ragnarok versus Cure, because Cure is the only Terran here. He busts through, gets in there, kills 40 workers, gets his entire army wiped out. Like, his queens died. Oh, he took his queens with him, right? Like, he rallied them across the map. Some workers. Killed 40 SCVs, was up, I think it was like 20 SCVs by the end, to 40, tapped out. Right? Because his entire army died. He just taps out, being like, I can't win here. I have no queens. He had no army, no queens, but 40 drones, 3 hatches, compared to 23 workers and a small army.
Okay, what kind of armor you were talking about? Because, like, again... Like 6 Marines, 2 Marauders, and a Medevac are kind of scary.
I think it was like some Marines and a Banshee. I think he took the Queens to fight Banshees.
Yeah, unless you had Spores, which probably not, based on the build.
No.
Yeah. It's a little bit premature. I don't know that it's crazy, but yeah. Young player Ragnarok.
Yeah. How old is Ragnarok?
I know, right?
He's 24.
Yeah, okay, not that young. Not that young. Okay, so we've got in the round of 12 Stats and Rain are playing. That'll be a ton of fun. Maru and Hero Marine is just a rough draw for Hero Marine. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Maru's TVT is always pretty good, even if he's a little bit struggling. Innovation versus Parting is going to be a ton of fun, and then Cyril versus Clem, ton of fun. I think those are great matchups.
Any of these games could have been the finals.
Totally. 100% true.
And
I'd be a little shocked if Hero Marine is in the final, wouldn't you?
I mean, I would be a little shocked.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think he could do it.
Me too. He's capable. I would just be surprised.
I would also like, at this point, to point out that Maru and Cyril are on opposite sides of the bracket. It could happen, guys.
It could happen.
It could happen.
Oh... The dream is alive.
The dream is alive.
Dude, it would save StarCraft 2 forever. It would.
It's true, yeah.
It would live on forever if we got a Maru Cyril final in 2021.
Jesus would be like, I don't need to come back. Everything's fixed.
World peace would begin. Be fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then just waiting in the quarterfinals is Dark Rogue, TY, and Zest, as we mentioned previously. It's kind of nice to have a bye, I think. I mean, is it same day? Let's see, 26th and the 27th. No. Okay, so I feel like it would matter if they tried to cram this into the same day. coming into play against Dark, if your stats are Rainer after playing a pretty tough series against your opponent, is like, ugh. But
Yeah.
if you have a day, you're probably fine.
I mean, probably.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess in the element of professional sports, it matters.
Okay.
Especially in the NBA, if you have a day off, it really helps you not look like garbage in your next game.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's a sport. It's an esport. They're not necessarily running around though. So
I mean,
mentally,
there was that statistic that something like chess grandmasters can burn like 10,000 calories playing a full day's worth of chess.
dang,
Just
that's a
sitting
lot.
there playing chess.
Yeah.
So I mean, they don't even need any kind of APM. Their APM is one action per turn, right?
Yeah. I mean, they could be playing speed chess. That'd be kind of APM intensive, but
Kind of, yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
But I still don't think it compares to StarCraft.
Yeah. I wonder. We should do that. How do you measure that? How do you measure calories burned in somebody, like on the fly?
That's an excellent question. I think you have to track calories in and then record how hungry they are after they're done.
I am a 4 out of 5 on the hungry scale.
Exactly.
Maybe. I don't know. I think there's got to be some kind of.
I mean,
Anyway,
they
someone should
somehow
do it.
figured it out for the chess masters. So
Yeah, exactly. So let's just use the same method. That's all. Yeah. All right. So, So Cyril's path would be Clem.
Clem, Zest,
Maybe
TY, Rogue, or Dark.
Basically, that's the most
Hopefully
likely path. That's rough. It's all rough, though. All these paths are rough. Again, Dark is undefeated.
True.
Let's mention that again. He's unbeaten in Katowice so far, so
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. 2-0ing a lot of incredible names.
Yeah. We can go through that list.
Just make him wear a Fitbit.
Yeah, it might work.
I mean,
But I mean, that does movement.
that does
They're
step
moving.
counter. Step
Yeah,
counter.
but they're
isn't
not stepping.
I think they should all wear heart rate monitors. Like, I think that would be fantastic information to have on screen. APM counter, heart rate.
Oh, I would pay $5 for a heart rate monitor being on screen for this. Absolutely. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he 2-0'd Bunny, he 2-0'd Cyril, he 2-0'd Innovation, he 2-0'd Time, and then just for good measure, he 2-0'd Special. Like, jeez.
Yeah, but I mean,
What a monster.
just who didn't 2-0 special?
Yeah.
It's,
I
I mean,
he
innovation
took a couple
and
maps.
time.
Yeah.
Innovation
Yeah,
and time.
there you go.
But
Yeah, no, you're right.
sorry, special.
I said for good measure, not that it's super impressive, but you know.
Right. No, I mean, it is super impressive to get out of his group flawlessly. Like, then beating special is included in that.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, I was going to try to figure out who has the hardest path to the finals, but I'm not sure.
Oh, Hera Marine. Only
that's
because
pretty,
of the
that's
skill.
pretty brutal.
I would say only because of like the skill discrepancy. Like, he's still I would say the weakest player amongst these 12.
Yeah, he's the least proven for sure.
Yeah.
He has gotten the least far in a world championship. All these other players have made it at least to the semifinals, I believe.
How's Clem?
Not Clem. Not Clem. No.
But
Clem and Hero Marine kind of at the same spot.
Yeah, but Clem's at least a champion, right? Like, he won a summer or something event last year. I don't believe Hero Marine has.
Right. Very fair. But yeah, I mean, he beat Morrow to start, and then beat Rogue, and then beat either Stats Rainer or Dark. Like, that's not happening. I'm sorry, dude. Like, you might be able to beat Mario, but you are not getting through the rest of that stuff to make it to the final. 0% chance.
I like the idea that his reward for beating a 4-time GSL winner is former world champion Rogue. And if he beats Rogue, his reward might be current world champion Dark. And if he beats Dark...
Or former world champion Stats. Or... Yeah.
And if he beats Dark, his reward is most likely former world champion Sarah.
Right. Or former GSL champion TY.
Zest. parting. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. I mean,
What if Vegas
you don't want to say someone's just happy to be
Hammer?
there, but he might just be happy to be there at this point.
Oh, what are Vegas's odds on Hero Marine to win?
Do we have those?
I don't know. Yes. I
Okay.
mean, I don't know how to read bets, so I'm going to give you a link.
I'm not good at it either, but we'll try.
You live so close to Vegas. What do you mean?
Yes, proximity to Vegas is what makes you a good bettor. So this
Okay.
is individual matchups. Where's my players at?
Right. Well, we can look at the first one. Maru versus Hero Marine. Win is 3 to something. What does that mean? Who knows how to? I don't know. I just googled StarCraft 2 betting. Don't.
Yeah. This isn't typical of Vegas formatting for bets.
Is it not?
Unless it's just
outright.
unless we're.
Can we go down?
Oh, there we go.
It's lagging. Click the thing. Web page is refusing to update for me. You gotta tell me if it's working for you.
Where does it say outright?
Oh, it doesn't work with it for some reason. So, see how the players are there? If you go up a little bit to like the first gray bar and at the left, it says next to go and then outrights. But outrights, when it's highlighted, doesn't do anything.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Unless it's just simply like, oh, that's interesting. Simply 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 2 to 1, 2 to 1.
Okay.
Right?
So for the record, I just tried to put in like some stuff, and it's like, okay, if you bet $10 on Hero Marine and he wins, you get $35. So that's it's paying 3.5 to 1, 3.5 to
Yes.
win. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, that's what it is here. 3.5 to 1-ish. Okay, so Stats is actually favored over Rainer. That's interesting.
No, he's not.
I wouldn't.
He's paying out higher, which means he's less likely.
Oh no, you're right. I'm reading that backwards because they flip it. Can we just have the favorites on the left? No?
I know.
Okay.
I know. Right?
Fine. Yeah. All right. So so Rainer's favored, Maru's favored, Innovation is favored, and Cyril is favored. Which that tracks.
Yeah. Speaking of betting, shall we?
I want to see if there is betting on individual players though, to make it out.
Okay.
So real quick, we'll have time.
Okay. You say so.
GG.bet. There's like 8 redirects. Why are there redirects? That doesn't make me feel good. Registration for your country is not allowed. We don't allow Americans to do this? Cool. That's fine. I can still look at the stuff. So I am Katowice. StarCraft 2. Oh, they just have the odds again for the matchups. Dang it. Maybe they don't do it. This is for ggbet.com.
Right. What's this? This is egb.com. I've never sketch websites, you know.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it's got players and odds, so it feels like you can bet on individual players. But I don't know if I press more. Nope, that's showing me more games. I don't want more games. I want to see the rest of the players in this event. Right? It's not listing all the players. It's got Rogue listed twice.
That seems inaccurate.
With different odds.
Extra inaccurate. One of these won't even let me load the page from the US. Holy crap.
God damn. I'm going to get a computer virus on this thing.
Yeah, everyone just has the same numbers. It's just, here are the matchups. Here's who's favored.
Weird.
Whatever. I mean, I imagine they'd be willing to take, your $5 in exchange for like a $600 payout. I feel like there's no chance. If I
Right.
was Vegas, I'd be like, sure. You want to put some amount of money on Hero Marine? Please do. You can have infinite return.
Yeah. We'll take your money. Yeah.
Yeah, he's absolutely not winning this thing, but we'll take your money. Now watch him do it. Watch him be like, those jerks. I heard them talking about me.
Yeah. He goes Super Saiyan.
It's just like the other side be much easier for him. Just
You
that
reckon?
top half. Yeah. He's already beat Cyril in a series. Right?
Who? Hair Marine.
Hero Marine, yeah.
When?
He did at that
They weren't
that one premiere
That one premiere.
last year. Yeah. That one
Okay.
where he took third place. Like he didn't finish ahead of Cyril, but like he beat him once and like knocked him to something, but then later ended up losing, I thought.
Okay. Something he took third place in.
Yeah.
Winter or summer he took fourth. Summer 2019 he took third to fourth. Let's have a quick look at these.
Yeah.
Who played who and where? Hero Marine beat Clem. No, Clem beat Hero Marine. So it wasn't that one. Because Hero Marine.
Is that one with
no.
the losers bracket? Because you need to.
Yeah, no, that is the loser's bracket. Cyril knocked him 3-0 into the loser's bracket.
Okay.
So it's not that one.
Not that one. No.
Let's see. Hero Marine. He's in the loser's bracket again. He got there by being smashed by Reyna. He then loses to Reyna again in the loser's bracket. So not that one. We're now into 2019 games. So he beat Reyna. Cyril when he was strongest. I'd like to see this. No. He got beat by Reyna 3-1.
Okay. Well, probably
Wrong.
just remembering wrong then.
Clearly. Yeah, no. 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 Literally nothing he's played in the last year. And well, nothing he's placed highly in the last year. Or two. Has he beaten Cyril?
He beat him 1-0 in the War Chest Team League last August.
Nothing he placed highly in has he beaten Cyril.
Right, that's fair. Yeah, we just keep going back here on Oligulac. He's just getting 3-0'd, 3-1, 3-0'd, 3-0'd. Oh, he 2-0'd him in 2018. That's fun.
Oh.
In WCS Winter 2019.
Fair enough.
So, I don't know. Maybe I was thinking about that. Anyways, he's beat him before. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay.
So what you're saying is you want Hero Marine for your pick.
If he was in the other side of the bracket, maybe. Not this one, though. This is brutal all the way around. This is untenable.
I mean, maybe if he was in a different playoff, that might take him.
Yeah, maybe that too.
Maybe if you got seeded into the semis.
I mean, should we just bet Cyril versus Maru? Just try to make it into existence, or is betting on Maru going to screw us again?
Ooh, that is an excellent point.
Because I don't know. When's the last time you bet on Maru and he did anything?
Didn't I win with Maru? Like one of the 3 times in a row I've won.
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't remember what I bet on what tournaments. I think I did win with Maru, but only because he made it one round further than Dark. I think
my pick. Then Dark, who got rolled. Yeah, that's true.
In a GSL, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So Maru didn't win it, but he also didn't just fall apart, which was nice. That's a win.
Yeah.
For you.
So you want Maru and I'll take Cyril?
No, heavens no. I don't want Cyril. I'm the Zerg here. You're the Maru fanboy.
I mean, that's by all accounts true.
Yep.
Okay. What are the odds? What are
you mean the bet?
Yeah, what's the stakes? Come on.
I don't know.
You've had 2 whole days to think about this. You've had 38
you think I
whole
spent
years.
any time at all thinking about it?
You've had 38 years to think about this. It's all been leading here.
No, I have not spent any time thinking about this.
Okay, well, I'm going to go back to one of the ones that I've already had sitting around, which is you have to get the Ahigo t-shirt and wear it to a stealth meeting of some description or your first day back in the office.
So Falcon gets fired if he loses. That's fantastic.
You won't get
Thank
fired.
you. Dude, I don't live in Australia, man. We are not as loose as you people are. We're uptight about that kind of stuff. Wearing a freaking Iago shirt in a work environment
I mean,
is absolutely asking at least for an HR meeting with your boss.
it's a good thing you're such a good employee. They won't fire you. They'll just give you a meeting. I mean, look, do you really think your boss would recognize what it is? Come on.
I mean, no, but I'm never just in a meeting with him.
That's true.
It'd have to be with other people. And like, I work with nerds. They know what it is. We've had discussions about this.
Right, but like the last time you guys had a meeting was like 8 months ago, and it was like out to lunch or something, and there was like four of you.
Zoom meetings. We have those every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, we have what's called a stand-up where every morning it'd be like, I'm going to work on this today, and nobody cares. I don't know why we have this meeting, but whatever. Tradition is tradition.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that's acceptable.
Okay.
So that's an
Also,
agreement.
no.
That's an agreement. You said okay. Like, would you like to lock in that final answer?
I would not. Absolutely not.
You're the worst. Look, I said a shirt. I didn't say you couldn't wear a hoodie over it.
Well, what's the point then?
I don't know.
Okay, great.
I mean, once again, we both have nothing for this.
Truth. Hey, people in chat, give us ideas for what we can do to make each other's lives miserable. Actually, that's not really the bar. Like, the Australian flag in my window didn't do anything to make me miserable.
If anything, it brightens your day every day.
Exactly. Yeah, anytime anybody comes to my house, they're like, so, flag? About half the time they'll know it's Australia, and the other half of the time they think it's like the UK because we're Americans.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you have another window you can use for another flag?
How about another forward-facing one?
Damn.
We could replace it. I mean,
I don't know. Both would be. Do you have a flagpole? Anything that you can tie?
a flagpole. Heavens no.
I mean, but you've got like a part of like a roof, right? Somewhere on that house. Like
I have a roof.
right, but you could tie it outside and let it flap in the wind, and then I can start making you collect all the flags of the world,
Oh, wow. That'd be interesting.
starting with New Zealand.
See, the problem with the outside flags is I have to care about them. I have to, like, take them down, or they're going to, at night, and if it's raining and stuff.
Okay.
But with this one, it's just, like, attached to the inside window. That's what the Australia flag is, so it's fine. It is not exposed to the elements.
Fine. You're making this really difficult.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh, you have to switch to Terran until you win a bet.
Ooh, play nothing but Terran?
Yeah.
Where's JLC? He'd appreciate that a lot.
Plenty of battlecruiser rushes.
Yep, just battlecruiser rushing for months is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. I can do that. Swapping to Terran. Wait, until I win another bet could be forever, literally.
Okay. We'll put a time limit on it until...
Yeah.
Oh, when's the next upcoming tournament? Just like the start of that. There are no upcoming events.
I know.
Listed on Wikipedia.
It's not encouraging.
I mean,
So,
I assume there will be GSLs this year.
Yeah, right? I think so too.
I love that there's like a metal fabricating company in Australia called GSL, and I get that search result every time I search for GSL on Google. Okay, so this says that there is a GSL this year, 2021 GSL Season 1. Doesn't say when,
Eventually?
but it says the prize pool will be 118,000 USD. I'm gonna say Korean won.
Why would you not just move to Korea at this point? Honestly.
Yeah, like honestly, that the next season of GSL's prize pool will be just under half of what Katowice's will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there'll be 3 of these tournaments this year.
Yeah.
I really wish it would tell us when, but no.
It is kind of concerning there's not a when, definitely.
I mean, yes, but the fact that there's... Whoa, why does it say there's a number of players is only 16? Straight into groups.
Maybe that's a new thing.
Yeah, there's 4 groups with 4 players, and then the playoffs. Well, according to this, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this will happen at some point. So we'll go until the start of that, and because GSO typically lasts a month, you know.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
And I guess, I mean, to keep the pattern, then if you lose, you got to play Protoss until the next GSL.
I don't know if I can agree to that.
Just make Void Rays. You'll be fine.
That's an excellent point. And it upsets me that is true.
That's what I'm here for. Upsetting truths.
Damn you, Algo. All right, I'll do it.
Okay, deal.
Deal. Done.
Not written down anywhere, but that doesn't matter. It's on the podcast.
I think we've got proof.
Yeah, exactly. Deepfakes don't exist at all.
No.
I mean, we're not quite to the point in human history where we can't trust any video evidence of anything, right? We'll get there eventually.
I mean, it depends on the budget behind it, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure if you had like $100 billion to fake a 30-second video, right, there's a lot of work you could do that the guy with like a computer and half an hour on his, half an hour trying to get the deepfake janky software to work that might be a virus that he's downloading somewhere off the dark web, Yeah. Yeah. So who knows?
Who knows? One thing I do want to cover real quick. It's not StarCraft 2 related. But you know the Boston Dynamics dogs?
I do.
So apparently they've started deploying them as like cops in the US.
Really?
The New York Police Department deployed Boston Dynamics, a robot dog Spot, to a home invasion crime scene in the Bronx.
Interesting.
Yep. Black Mirror, man. We're there. We are absolutely running towards that future with wild abandon.
Cyberpunk 2077, here we come.
Pretty much.
Huh. That's cool.
I know.
Good doggy. Good robo doggy. You're not a fan?
I don't know. I totally see the side where we can put them into situations where it's dangerous and we're not risking further human lives by intervening with something. Like, I get that. But if we start using them for, like, enforcement purposes, suddenly it gets real scary, you know?
How long till Boston Dynamics has a military contract to arm these things?
Yeah. Well, I actually did some research today. That's where their initial seed money came from. Was the American military being like, hey, make us some military applicable robot things. And they're like, okay.
When your defense budget might as well be a blank check, turns out militaries will throw monies at lots of things. For reference, see crazy wacky inventions in World War II and World War I. Because they they were going to strap bombs to bats and let them fly over to Japan, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff. The government and the military will throw money at anything.
Yeah. And for a while, it was the space program. Like, a lot of the inventions that we have today are because Russia and the U.S. were desperately trying to beat each other in the space program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing. Government money just getting tossed at stuff is a lot of stuff. I love the fact that Boston Dynamics is like, we're making these dog things, and the first thing that they like publicly did with it is you can have one in your home and they can help you do stuff. Look how friendly they are. And then after that, they're like, and
It
they're
can
cop
twerk.
dogs too.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you skip the part where it's like, here's a robot dog dancing at you. Ever wanted to see a robot dog twerk? Here you go.
Yes, that was step 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so then next it's going to be like, and now we're deploying them on the battlefield in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And now they're patrolling your neighborhood. It's like,
Well, I mean,
I don't like it.
The argument there is we don't have drones flying over our neighborhoods, right? Like those are
Yeah.
okay. I mean, to be fair, I saw a news documentary on drones, which is on a clear day you can't see them in the sky, right?
Right.
So,
Right. They're so tiny.
right. So theoretically, you could.
Yes. That's an excellent point. Theoretically, there could be multiple drones over my house right now and all the time.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. What I would like to talk about that is not StarCraft 2 related
Okay.
is Final Fantasy 7.
Oh yeah, the Final Fantasy VII remake it still owes us some parts.
It still owes us 2 parts. And
Yeah.
at Square Enix announcements today, we are getting none of those parts anytime soon.
2022?
No,
2023?
not announced.
Oh, that's not good. Okay.
So avid listeners of the podcast might remember back to a few weeks ago when Square Enix trademarked the names The First Soldier and Ever Crisis. One I think will be amazing. The other one I am bewildered by.
It's
So-
Fortnite and the Final Fantasy universe?
The First Soldier is a battle royale on phones set in Final Fantasy VII as Shinra sets up its soldier program and it tests and trains recruits by having them compete in battle royale simulations.
Don't you guys have phones indeed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. They could it's probably a fine game. The fact that it's on phones is a little strange to me. It's like you just had massive success with a console game. Why are you putting out a phone game? So,
Microtransactions.
probably. That's a little weird. The second thing is Ever Crisis, which I am actually excited for. It is a kind of demake of the Final Fantasy VII remake.
What?
Okay, so think of it as the Final Fantasy VII remake, but slightly downgraded graphics so that it can be played on phones, and the combat doesn't look real time. It looks like it's actually turn-based.
Oh, I mean, some people like the turn-based.
Yeah, some people do. So that actually looks really cool. And then they were like, oh yeah, because it's called Ever Crisis, we'll be remaking the entirety of Final Fantasy VII, plus Dirge of Cerberus, plus Crisis Core, and there'll be a part of like the Advent Children movie that will be coming to this. It's going to be like a episodic release kind of thing.
Oh.
So it is literally all the Final Fantasy experiences you could want, by like 3, which are 2
no
of those are
kidding.
books and one of those is an anime.
Yeah, this is like right up your alley. You're all about this.
Yes, and the
Yeah.
art style looks amazing. Like it looks super fun and cute and great. I highly hope it comes out and is well received because it will be good. I hope it's also coming in 2022.
Oof.
Yeah, but the
Brutal.
Battle Royale comes out this year.
Okay, I mean, yeah. Huh. Okay, well, we'll look forward to the future of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, there is on the news of the actual Final Fantasy VII remake, the PS5 is getting an edition of that, which will
Yeah,
come
okay.
with Yuffie. There'll be a new extra bonus chapter
What?
of content.
Oh
And
my gosh, that's so evil.
and there'll be Yuffie, and she'll be dressed up as a Moogle for a little bit, and like looking at the trailer, and then she'll be in her like regular, like her updated outfit that's still supposed to kind of match the original, but doesn't really. But
super crazy all the way up the legs boots.
yeah, her shorts will still be unbuttoned.
Okay.
Don't know why, Yuffie, but hell of a ninja. Button your pants. Like,
yeah, ninjas like to wear their clothes all the way, I think. At least the ones that I know.
So that's finally a reason to buy a PS5.
I mean, I'm not surprised by this, I guess. All right. Well, that is what it is.
Yeah. Should be good. Should be good.
Something else I wanted to talk about real quick, though.
Okay. What would you like to talk about?
Oh, okay. So I had a friend recommend that I start watching a show called Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, it's based on actually an Australian movie, and they TV showed it and put it in California for a local cable station, TNT.
Okay.
So basically, it's about this family. It's basically a grandma and her adult sons who put together heists. They they rob jewelry stores and stuff like that. So here's my question. In 2021, if you're living in such a way that it's like opulent, right? You've got a bunch of cars and a big house and wave runners and boats and things, but you never file any taxes for anything. Do you think the government's like, let's look into that?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
No, because
you don't know what I mean. Okay.
Oh, well, I don't entirely understand, because I assume if, like, in reference to the premise of the show, that these are a criminal gang, that they've stolen all these goods.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have day jobs at all. If they're not stealing stuff, they're broke, basically.
Right. And I mean, I assume these people aren't dumb enough to declare their stolen assets.
No, nope, definitely not.
So as far as the government knows, they have no, like, they live on the streets and they have nothing to their names.
Correct. Except for the fact that you're probably paying property taxes on a $10 million home.
I mean, they live in the home. Do they own it?
Yeah.
Are they? Okay. So
yeah,
they're not homeless to the government.
Correct. So that's part of the problem here.
So property taxes in Australia. You guys pay like a percentage of the house's value or something?
Yeah, something like that. It just it gets folded into the mortgage, so it's just part of my mortgage payment every month. I don't really think about it.
Okay. Well, as not a homeowner, I can honestly say I don't know.
Right, and I'm not expecting you to know. I just had this thought, like, it'd be pretty easy to build a database of like, okay, so these addresses are paying us $10,000 a month or a year or whatever in property insurance and property taxes, but they never file anything ever for anything else. They never declare any assets. They never report investment income. I mean, I guess the option here could be they're living off some investment, or not an investment, like an inheritance, right? Somebody left them $10 million when they died, and they're just living off it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly possible. I feel like they would probably get looked into.
Yeah, I think they'd be like, hey, local cops, like, do some drive-bys. Just see if there's anything obviously illegal going on. We're not telling you to, like, search the home, but, just go by every once in a while, see what's going on. I don't know. And if there was a string of jewelry robberies in the area, we'd be like, okay, we don't have any obvious suspects. Let's check these guys out, You know what? Absolutely. I'm just saying I would.
You would just profile?
And yeah, and here's the thing. They've made the point in the show, in the first 2 episodes already, that like one of these guys is just like at the convenience store buying some Slim Jims, and this random detective wanders in. and like they're familiar with each other, right?
Mm.
This cop's like, "Hey Dan," he's like, "Hey Jim, how's it going?" Like obviously there have been some investigations in the past. They haven't been able to prove anything, but like they're on the radar, and I just feel like it's an untenable situation.
Right. I
That's all.
mean, yeah. I mean, do they explicitly state that the people own the house themselves, and it's not like their cousin who died, but they haven't told anyone?
Yeah, but I mean, then it would.
Because here's the
Well,
thing.
then somebody has to be paying property taxes on it. If
Mm,
nobody's paying property taxes on the home, the government comes and takes it. So
yeah, that's a weird change because I don't think that happens here.
yeah, I think it's definitely an American thing.
I don't think we have property taxes like that. Like when you buy a house, you have stamp duty and all those kinds of things where the government collects taxes on sales of the house. And then you have your rates, which are like bills for council pickups and you're making sure your bins get emptied every week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But as far as I'm aware, we don't have excessively large. We might have property taxes, but I don't think we have excessively large property taxes because I don't know. I feel like that would change like hundreds of stories I've heard around Australia where it's like, oh yeah, we've just been a family who's owned this house since like 1905 out in the bush somewhere herding sheep. And it's like the government never came and took their house and they probably never paid anything on it because they've owned it for 6 generations.
I guess.
Like people who live secluded lives, not like they own a business herding sheep. They just do that because that's how they make food.
Yeah.
Wool and their own clothes.
So, quick Google says there are no state-based land taxes for primary residences, but local city council rates.
Yeah, the rates of your bins and
the
stuff.
Rates. Yeah. So, okay. So, if nobody's paying the rates,
yeah, then
that's suspicious.
That would be suspicious. But the rates are not outrageously expensive, and they're not a percentage. Like I pay.
Yeah.
I pay like $400 every 3 months, and that's like the bill's being split between everyone who lives here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like if they're selling stuff and they're just coming up with the cash, it's probably not too suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they have enough, I'm sure, to pay the taxes on it and everything. But again, if you're not reporting income, the only option, if you're looking at it as an outsider, is they just have a trust fund.
Oh, they're mooching off a relative, like a wealthy relative. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to report that, though. I think that is something that,
Don't you guys not tax gifts? Isn't that basically the same thing?
To a certain amount.
Okay.
I think if you're giving somebody like $1 million, you have to report it at least. I could be wrong. I don't know.
But what if you broke that down into $1 million $1 payments? Do you have to report it then?
Right? Loopholes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a tax attorney.
Okay.
I feel like 100 years ago, like a lot of things, it was easier to be a criminal 100 years ago.
Before people knew what fingerprints were and how to track
them.
them.
And DNA and cameras didn't exist and many things. Yeah. And that's what came to mind. Like it's one thing if you've got a day job that you kind of just like go to the office 3 times a week and do whatever and report those taxes, and also you're a cat burglar. I think that would be less suspicious. I think you wouldn't end up on our radar.
You said the original story was set in Australia.
Yeah.
These people could all be dole bludgers.
What now?
Dole bludgers.
Uh-huh.
People who get money from the government for looking for work, right? It's unemployment benefits.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but if you're on the dole and all of a sudden you have 4 Sea-Doos parked out front of your house, like you don't think someone's going to notice?
Okay, so from what I've heard from people who rant about this, which is unemployment benefits can go up the more kids you have, and certain people do fairly well off that. I've heard people talking about how they would buy like a new car every year easily off the amount of payments they're getting. So
sure, but again, new car is different from boat.
Right. I'm not saying like it couldn't be a combination of two, but how do they come up with their rent, the rates and all that? Dull. How do they come up with the money to buy their Slim Jims? Dull. Right. Like they have
Yeah.
They have an appearance of a legitimate income at revenue, right?
Mhm.
And that's all
Totally.
they need. That's all they need. They just
Yeah.
need the appearance.
Yeah. So maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that's what it is in the original movie. Again,
Maybe.
Australian.
Literally never heard of it.
Yeah. Got a few seasons in the US, so I don't know.
An Australian crime drama that debuted at Sundance.
Whoa.
does it
So
really-
it's fancy.
Does it really count as being an Australian then?
I mean, the writer of the script is Australian, so
Sure.
yes.
But I mean, if a movie doesn't premiere in Australia, that's like calling X-Men Australian because it's got Hugh Jackman.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, did it? Interesting. I don't know. I think if the story was created by somebody who is from a country, and then it's that country's.
Sure. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess so. Like, is Thor Ragnarok
New Zealand because it was
Kiwi? Yeah, because it's Taika Waititi's baby, right? That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's different if it's part of a franchise. I mean, whereas this
Right.
is just it's its own thing. It's its own IP.
Look. If something is clearly of that market, I'll grant it. Like, you've probably never heard of Neighbours or A Home and Away, right? Or Blue Heelers. All Australian TV shows, right? Like, I would not expect you to have heard of those because they're made in Australia for Australian markets.
Yeah.
So those are Australian, right? If this had a bunch of American actors and it was like, a couple scenes were filmed in Australia and then it gets like released and premiered elsewhere, I don't know. What's Australian about it?
Fair. I mean, this is written by an Australian, set in Melbourne.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah. If it's, set in Melbourne, like the story is supposed to be about Australians.
Yeah.
I give it some leeway.
And it stars Ben Mendelsohn, who's an Australian.
Is he?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
Just Ben Mendelsohn? No one else in this movie? Guy Pearce? He's Australian, right?
I guess.
He's British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Joel Edgerton.
Jackie Weaver is Australian. It really seems like this is an Australian product, man. All the way down.
Yeah, it's just weird that they would be like, here's Sundance.
Well, it premiered at Sundance, but I'm sure it aired in Australia. It only made $7 million. The budget was only $5 million. That is a teeny tiny budget, but I guess it was 10 years ago. That's a different time.
To be fair, yeah. Although these are some like big names today. Well,
Yeah,
not like
for sure.
not massive names, but I would have expected like Ben Mendelsohn to cost $5 million. Like, dude was in Rogue One and a bunch of other really good movies.
Yeah, he's
recently.
a great actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joel Edgerton, another dude.
Have you seen The Warrior? He's great in The Warrior.
Yeah. He's acted in the Star Wars movies. Like, he's another dude that's done Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is he in Star
So this
Wars?
is he was just young Uncle Owen at the end of Revenge of the Sith for like 4 seconds.
Oh. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, Guy Pearce has apparently Australian, New Zealand, and British citizenship. Way to go. Got the trifecta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every one of the people in starring roles in this movie are Australian. So
Fair enough.
produced by Screen Australia, Film Victoria.
Film Victoria gets a lot of credits and things, though.
Okay. But
Like, Film Victoria gets a credit in like every Marvel movie. I don't know why.
Fair. Anyway,
Oh, okay, there we go.
I like knowing the viability of certain criminal lifestyles is all.
In case you ever find the need to live one yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course. I mean, my advice would be don't commit crimes you can't get away with.
Smart. Yeah. I think that's probably rule number 1.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap this thing up. We got to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks for joining us for a special Katowice and other random meandering thoughts episode of the podcast, check out the Patreon page, as well as falconpaladin.store for your merch needs. And yeah, again, we do this live on twitch.tv/Somicron. So go there, hit the follow button, and you'll be notified. Well, if you hit the bell, you'll be notified when we go live. So,
Indeed.
all right, cool. So until then, stay safe and stay healthy, and take care of yourself, and go Cyril.
Yeah, go Sarah.